Today's we are going to discuss about how can you fetch all the specs from the database and how can you show all the specs here like this. As you can see, I have already designed this systems. So as you can see, in the specs section I have view all the specs. Click on this. So as you can see, this is the spec ID, model name, and the spec name, and this is the created date, and this is the spec. If you want to edit this spec name, you can click on this. Okay, fine. If you want to view how many specs values available in the color section, just click on this. So you can see I'm just fetching. We have only two fields here. If you want to add this, just click on this and it will update for you. Okay, so we are not going to create these systems because of the time. You can also create, so don't worry about it. We are going to edit the spec value and we are going to delete the spec value. So first of all, we are going to fetch all the values and we are going to show the values on a specific page. Then we will add the spec name, then we will delete this spec name. Okay, because this is the relational database. If you are deleting the parent, so definitely it will automatically delete all the rows from the child table, because it's a child parent relationship and you have used the cascade. So that means if someone delete your parent table, your database management systems automatically delete all the rows from the child systems. Okay, so now how can you do that? Just refresh, log in with your admin page, click on this. So now you know very well that the model sections, you are showing all the models and you need the same functionality. So we have two possibilities. Either you can start from the scratch, or you can just copy or reuse your code. So I'm definitely reusing this all model. Okay, so now we are going to fetch all the specs, but we are reusing our code. So go to the admin controller, find this method, which is this. Okay, copy all entire method. I'm saying all specs. It's totally dependent upon you, how you are, what is your requirement and what is the method name you want to add or you want to use. Okay, so I'm saying all specs. Okay, so definitely it's okay. Remove this. I think I have copied. Just a second. All models. So this is all model. Copy this, all models, go to the page, and you can say that this is the specs. Okay, yes, specs, and definitely it's also the specs. And now get the entire code from your model. So this is the two methods. You are fetching the rows and you are creating the paging. So that's why I'm copying the code from model. Okay, so now change the model name, all specs, all specs, and this is fetch all specs, fetch all, and this is the specs. Okay, now change the, now what you need, you just need the specs and the spec values. So here you are fetching the spec rows where SPID, so this is the spec, so where SP status, where SP status 1 collect all the rows first of all. Then what you need, I'm saying I need the spec, and also I need the, because you are getting the model ID also. So I'm saying fetch all the specs first of all, and where sp equals to 1, and I'm going to use the join. Okay, let me use, I'm saying this db, and I'm saying select, I'm going to use the chaining here, and I'm saying select where, and I'm using the join also, join, and then I'm saying get the result. You can use the SPID sending. So now I'm saying get all the specs dot static and all the model ID, not all, only I am going to get the model name. So here is the model name, what MID. So this is the column name, and the table name is models. I have to join this with model. I'm saying where is the MID. So this is the MID, where MID equals to specs dot model ID. So in the specs fields, definitely you have a model ID. So in the specs fields you have a model ID. So specs, you have a model ID, and now use the semicolon here. In the where conditions, you have to specify the where conditions like this, but this is not an associative array, this is a simple condition. Okay, now you are getting all the specs values. I'm saying this is, I'm going to create the view. First of all, you have to open this file so you can easily copy the content. Now create the specs where in the admin view, in the admin folder inside the view in the home. So here is your admin home, create the file. Okay, you have just created. Now copy from the all models. So this is all specs, and now change the, it's not a models, now it's specs. Copy specs, you have to use the also spec, and you can change the model ID. So now I'm saying this is the spec. You can also use the Control Shift and R. You are saying that, oh, find this and add this, which is the spec. So now hit the enter button. Okay, you have to define the scope that I'm going to change the current file. So specs, and also the specs. So you have changed the model with spec. Now you have to use the SPID. Where is the SPID? Control, select the content, control, and you have to use the SPID here. SPID. So current file, change the SPID as well. Okay, place all. So now you have changed the SPID. Now what you need, you just need to remove, you have to show the spec name and the model name. So this is the spec name, And what about the model name? So I think the model name is m name. So this is the m name. We'll add the m name, and now we are going to ready. Go to the page, refresh the page, go to the specs, and make sure you have to change from the navbar left. Use the all specs here. So refresh, all specs, all specs. So I think undefined model 73. So this is model undefined. Where is the 73? So this is you okay. Fresh. So it's saying you have an error while using the join. So I'm saying models.mid equals to specs.modelid. So I'm saying you have check a manual that okay. I'm saying order by specs not spec id, or I'm saying this is okay. Let me check specs dot static models dot m name. Join models where models.mid equals to specs.modelid. Remove this. Okay, select. Okay, because we are missing something, because where is the from? You have to use the from. I'm saying from specs. Refresh the page. So now it's working fine. It's a query because you have to use the query, because we are using the query here. Refresh the page. Now it's working fine. So this is the product name. Sorry, it's not a product name. You have to change. This is the spec name. And after the specs name we have a model name. Refresh the page. So you have a model name, you have a specs name, and you have a delete. So this is the delete functionality. Delete model. You are deleting the model. So how can you do that? Because this is a spec id. You are sending the spec id. So find the delete mode in the here. So you are deleting. You are using the delete functionality here. I'm saying whenever someone delete the spec now, so you have to use the spec now class or whatever class you are using. Okay, I'm saying whenever someone click on the spec now, I'm getting the id. First of all, I'm getting the text. Now I'm sending this data via ajax to this model. So find this model, sorry, this method. So this is a delete method. Copy this and send below, copy this and paste this here. Now I'm saying delete spec. Okay, so delete spec. First of all, check the id and the text, and now if the id is available in this time, it's not a mid, that means model id. In this time it's a spec id. So we are going to change. Don't worry about this, because we are not fetching the image here. So text. Okay, so you don't need to get the image here. Remove this. Okay, you are checking the mod. First of all, go to the model. So this is the model. That means you are saying, oh, delete this model. But I'm saying delete spec. I'm saying specs where the SPID, that means spec ID. So this is the spec where the SPID is this. Okay, when you delete the spec, that means we are not going to delete, that means we are saying true and successfully deleted. You cannot delete your spec because we are reusing our code. Right now will not exist. And okay, fine. So go to the here and fine, refresh the page. So as you know, you have only one spec. So if you control F5, if you click on this, you have deleted, refresh the page. So as you know, you have now deleted the specs, because why it's showing, that means I'm saying specs are not available. Specs are not available. So now create the spec. I'm saying color red plus green, and now I'm saying RAM, I'm saying 3 GB, it's available in the 3 GB, and I'm saying 5 GB. You have added all models, colors, delete the RAM. Now refresh the page, you have successfully created. And now one thing, you have to change this because you are using, okay, open this view. Now add spec, press the page, add spec. Okay, new spec. Refresh, add spec. So now you have successfully deleted the content, you have successfully edited. But one thing, now what you need, you just need to edit the spec. So how can you do that? First of all, go to the admin or model, because all models, okay, go to the product, edit. And now as you know, you are editing these things. So how can you do that? While creating, you are fetching the value. So like product, like this product, you have 3 elements, and while updating you also have 3 elements. So what you need, you just need to copy this method content, and you can also reuse this code here. So definitely we are receiving the error because it's not MD, because we have matched something undefined variable SPID. And now I'm saying all specs. I think we have changed, we have not changed here. Okay, so don't worry about it. So go to the product, add product. Now copy this content, so this is your added product. Copy this and also copy this, because okay, you don't need to copy this. Okay, so now here I'm saying edit spec. So this is the SPID. Now in this time it says spec. So all specs, I have to say that edit spec, okay, because we have just created the edit specs. Now I'm saying check by spec ID. So now go to the model, we have to check the spec ID. Now I'm saying check by, in this time not product, I'm saying spec, check by spec ID. I'm saying that specs, and this is the SPID as a array. Make sure while working on the spec, we are fetching the model. So here you are fetching the categories. So how can you do that? Go to the this method, and copy this code. Now here add this code. First of all, you are fetching the model. Now while adding the spec, here copy the entire code and paste the entire code here. Okay, so now you're receiving the model and you are saying that this is the new specs. Go to the page, refresh the page, specs, all specs, and add it. So this is the spec and you are adding the same things. Click, 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 remove, remove, remove. Now you don't need the value here, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to open new spec. Where is the new spec? Here is the new spec. Okay, this is the new spec. Now I'm creating the new view for the edit purpose. Okay, copy the entire code, paste the entire code here. You don't need the spec value, so this is the spec value. Okay, so you have to add, you are receiving the spec here. So this is the spec, and now I'm saying the spec value is, where is the value? Here. The spec value is what is the SP name. Okay, go to the page, refresh the page. So okay. Category not found. Okay, just a second. Why it's saying category not found? All specs, added spec. Just a second. This is the added specs, and check by spec ID. Okay, because you have to also change this. Okay, so now click, it's working fine. You can now update the content. So how? While adding the form, while adding the new spec, you are sending this information to your controller. So now find the method where you are sending. So this is your method. Now go to here and you are updating the content. So I'm saying update. In this time I'm saying update is spec. So now in the edit sections, send this informations to your method. This is, and now in the meanwhile you have to send the ID. Input type hidden, and the value is, and the name is, I'm saying that spec ID, and the value is, just copy the value. You can also encrypt this value. It's totally dependent upon you. I'm saying this is the SP ID. So this is the SP ID. You can also fetch this ID here. So now in this time you are not receiving any value here. You are receiving only the name, the spec ID, the name, and the model. So this is the required, and you are saying that this is the model. This is the spec ID. Okay, you have to check that spec name and model name and also the spec ID. So this is the spec ID. Okay, so now you don't need the you don't need the spec values here. These are the spec values. Okay, now you have to check the spec, and now you can copy these fields, cancel here, and update section is here. Now we are saying that update the content. First of all, check the spec, if the specs is available or not. I'm saying check the specs. You are checking the specs here. Okay, I'm saying check the specs. If the specs is not available, redirect to where all the specs with error. Check the specs, and now update the specs. Update the spec. So this is the associative array which is coming, you are saving, and this is the spec ID. The spec ID. You are sending the associative array and spec ID here. So you have to receive the associative array and the spec ID. This is the associative array, and this is the spec ID. And now I'm saying this db where I'm saying this db update. It takes two parameters, associative array and the table's name, specs. Okay, now I'm saying where is the spec ID. So where is spec ID, this, so it will return the boolean. So now I'm saying this is the update the spec or check specs, whatever you are writing. So you have to say that you have successfully updated your spec, or you have to say you cannot update your spec right now, or anything else you want to say. Go to the page, refresh the page. Now edit the specs. I'm saying color, in this time I'm saying XYZ. So this is the XYZ added. So you have to say that this is also the update sections. So I'm saying update. So I'm saying this is the XYZ color. So XYZ change XY ABC update. Okay, so you have successfully created or designed the update and delete systems. So in this way you can reuse your code. You don't need to create the functionality from the scratch. So for suppose I have just copied all the methods from the previous methods and I have reused my code. So if you are writing this code, make sure this code from the script. So how can you do that means you have to define the methods, then you have to check if the admin is logged in or not, then you have to define these line of scope. So before doing this, just consider and how can you reuse your code, and how can you save your time by using the code or by reusing the code. So thank you for watching.